Welcome to a new anime review series. And this one, I'm doing a review on a series that I don't think anybody expected me to do this one, but I'm doing this one because of all the critical acclaim. I didn't get any recommendations particularly for this one, but I figured though I'd try it out and I really enjoy it. What series am I reviewing? Attack on Titan! Yep, that's what I'm reviewing. Yep. Adapted from the manga by, I can put the guy's name. His Hijami Isamaya. That I think that's how you pronounce the guy's name. Yep. It is released as of this month, released 101 chapters, which that's a lot. Now you're probably thinking, oh, does that mean it only started a couple years ago? No, it did not. It actually started a little over 8 years ago. Yep. And it is a monthly manga. Yep, it's a monthly manga. And mostly put, a lot of at least a couple of the characters are actually based upon other things. Like, well, in this series we have titans, these creatures that look like humans, but they're giant size. They range from about 10 to about 60 feet in height. The tallest titan is the Colossal Titan, who actually appeared in twice. He appears in the first two story arcs of this particular season. Yep. He he essentially put a skinless Titan. When I look at when I first saw him, I thought he looked like one of those things from the Bodies exhibit. I'm not kidding. One of the Bodies exhibit. Now it's not in this season they reveal who he actually really is. It's in season 2 they're gonna reveal that, and of course they revealed that in the manga already. And of course there's also one other special Titan that actually appeared in the pilot episode, and that is the Armor Titan, which I looked it up. The Armor Titan's physique is based upon, get this, WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. I am not kidding about this. The writer himself actually has publicly admitted about this. Yeah, it's one of the few things he based on real life people. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing. And I look at the Armor Titan's physique and I'm like, Brock Lesnar, yep, I can definitely see it. And when you see him in human form, I won't tell who it is, but his face is it's designed to be very similar to that Brock Lesnar in the anime, though in the manga it looks nothing like Brock Lesnar. I'm not sure what was with the animators to make it look almost exactly like Brock Lesnar. Heck, even the same hairstyle, even his hair is pretty much like carbon copy from Brock Lesnar. I don't know. Maybe it just makes it way too obvious. That's just the way it is. Now, the series only aired, this particular season only aired 25 episodes. Now, I took some notes on what the thing adapted. Now, this particular season only adapts the first eight volumes of currently released about 24 volumes of the manga. Yep, 24. I think it's like 24, 25-ish. Yep, that's roughly 34 chapters. Yep, 34 chapters. That's pretty much what the series adapts. For this particular season, there are at least 6 arcs for this whole entire season. Yep, 6 arcs. Now, the first 2 arcs are actually two-parters. The first 2 episodes are adapted from chapters 1 to 3. 3 and 4 are chapters 4 through 9. Episodes 5 through 13 are adapted from chapters 10 through 18. This is roughly a 9-episode arc. Yes, and this is technically the first half of the season. Yep. And then we have a 6-parter, which is basically episodes 17 to 22, which is adapted from chapters 23 to 30. And the final 3 chapters are adapted from book chapters 31 and 34. Excuse me. Yep, that's as far as I got with it. And who these characters? Now, the main character, Erwin Yeager, he's voiced by Bruce Prybuck. I only had seen him in one other work I've actually seen this guy, and that was JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. One thing I kind of noticed, though, about some of these dub actors, it seems like a lot of them worked on Fairy Tail. It's like Funimation, just as soon as they finish dubbing Fairy Tail, it's like, okay, or at least while I work on it, it must have drawn like everybody from Fairy Tail because, well, Mitsuka in Fairy Tail, she voiced Sherry Bradley, hmm the guy who's actually based upon a real life figure who was very controversial. Let me look him up here. I think he's in the Garrison. I'm mistaken. Yeah, Dot Praxis is voiced by R. Bruce Elliott, who in Fairy Tail did the dub voice for Makarov. Yep, the short old man. That was him. Armin Arlert. Now, Misa Ackerman is voiced by Tina Nashima. That's the name of the dub actress. Armin Arlert is voiced by Josh Grilley, who I think he did like one voice in Fairy Tail. Yeah, he voiced like Blacksnake and Hughes, and that was it. Yeah, the male version of Hughes because the one from the regular universe is actually a woman. Not kidding. Yep. There's a few other characters like Gene Kirsten, who is actually a guy. Despite the name, it's actually a guy. Annie Lockhart, who actually is revealed to be now in the Pendulum arc of the season. They encountered a female Titan. Now they kept this good from the manga. It was revealed that this Titan is actually Annie. Yep, Annie was the female Titan. And as far as I know, she's the only female Titan in the whole series because almost all the Titans are all male. Yep. And the person who voices her is Lauren Landa. Yep, that's her name. And aside from this series, she, well, she was in Hunter x Hunter. I think she was also on Sailor Moon Crystal, but yeah, that's really it. Only a couple works for her. One guy, Marker, he got killed off early on. There's one character, Krista Lenz. When I first saw this name, I'm like, wow, there's actually a character in a manga who has the same last name as me. Though it's an alias, though they reveal that later. But it's interesting though, and she's a blonde. Yeah, it seems like almost half the women in this series are blondes, or a lot of the women who appear in the series are blondes. There's like one redhead and one woman with raven hair. Yeah, that's one of the most weird things about this series is that almost all the women's got the same hair color. Yeah, there's also the character Haynes, who's actually appeared for a good few episodes. He's voiced by David Wade, who is from Fairy Tail. He voiced Ganjo, um, the 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 metal dragon slayer. Yep. No, he was also on One Piece, voicing one of the other characters. I don't remember the guy's name. He voiced one of the guys from the Eros Lobby arc. Yep. He was also on Akame Gotta Kill as Bullet, who got killed off like halfway through the series. And that's really it. So this is only like my third series I've seen this guy, at least fourth series I've seen this guy in. But there is one guy who actually I was very surprised to see this guy. Let's see if I can find him here. He is if I can find him on here. And this is actually when I find this guy, this is actually his ninth series I've oh here he is. Keith Status, who was the drill instructor, voiced by Patrick Stultz. This is by far the ninth series I've actually seen him on. Yeah, ninth one. The last one was JoJo Bizarre Adventures. Yep, that was the last one. So 9 series. That's a lot for one actor I've seen for one particular series. And he only appeared for this season for roughly 2 episodes, and that was really it. Mm-hmm. There's also the character, and he's a popular character himself, Captain Levi, who also had his own backstory explored in No Regrets, which I will get to the OVA adaptation of that soon. I'll probably get that in part 4 of the anime review. Mm-hmm. He's voiced by Matthew Mercer, who is best known currently for the most recent voice actor to voice Leon S. Kennedy from Resident Evil 6. I think he was even in the third Resident Evil CGI film. I have never seen the CGI films Resident Evil, but it's interesting to have him. The only anime work I've seen with this guy in it was, believe it or not, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, where he voices Jotaro from the third season. This from Stardust Crusaders. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's like the only other. Oh yeah, he was also in Hunter x Hunter, and he was also in Fairy Tail and Naruto Shippuden. Holy shit, that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he was Sailor Moon Crystal. It was 4, 5. So roughly about 7 series I've seen this guy in. He's a really damn good voice actor. He gets when he portrays Captain Levi, he's a bit very cold-hearted in a way. But whenever he plays other characters, he plays them a pretty good. He plays them about the way he portrays all of his characters. It's a similar style, but it's not exactly carbon copies. But he's always going to be very interesting to actually listen to when you hear his voice. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's basically it when it comes to certain characters I wanted to talk about. Yep. Now, overall, so far in the series, my favorite character is obviously the the male lead, Aaron. He's an awesome character in the fact he's actually one of a handful of characters in the series who actually can transform into an actual Titan. Though his Titan's actually 14 feet tall. Yep, 14 feet, and it kind of looks like him except with his teeth exposed and same hair color. Yep. When Annie turns into a Titan, it's kind of like the Colossal Titan, but shorter, and the fact that it actually has hair. So it's skinless, but uh, still got hair. And I'm kind of glad they kept this line in from the manga where one of the characters would refer to as the Titan with a nice ass. Yeah, they actually kept that line from the manga, which I was so happy they kept that line because I thought that was so funny. The fact that one of these scouts, they're the people who actually hunt down Titans. Well, they're actually complimenting how hot the Titan is because it's a woman. It's a female Titan. Yeah, that's simply the way it is when it comes to female Titan. And she appeared for the last 2 story arcs of the season, and it's revealed in the last story arc of the season that she really is the female. Annie is the female Titan, and she's a little bit more colder than Levi. And yeah, I have heard also that Levi's actually based on Rorschach, which I can kind of get. Yep. Though he's not played by the same voice actor, no, he's played by somebody else. Now, this season actually had 2 opening themes. One, the first one took up the first 13 episodes of the series, and then pretty much they decided to have it where they changed the opening theme with episode 14 and have it. So overall, the series has only had 3 opening themes because I looked up the theme for season 2. It's the same one for the whole season. So yeah, the first opening theme is Crimson Bow and Arrow done by Linked Horizon, which is actually a really damn good song. It's very exciting and gives you pumped up for the episode itself. The second half of the season, it's Wings of Freedom, which is the name itself actually comes from the symbol of the Scouts, which is the icon they wear on their sleeves and their backs. And these guys are the ones to go kill Titans. Though the military police and the garrison also get a chance to kill Titans themselves, but the Scouts actually go outside of the walls to actually kill the Titans. And the only way to kill these things is by cutting where their neck meets their back. That is where they cut them. And that apparently is how they kill Titans. And when they show Aaron as a Titan the first time he actually became a Titan, he killed 20 Titans, that is a lot. Now, luckily enough, thanks to the third arc, which basically had Wall Rose being breached, they were able to suppress the breach very quickly. Yeah, thanks to Aaron also sealing up the gate for the Troust district. Yeah, this is known as the Battle of Troust, and it took 9 episodes to tell, but it took overall, yeah, it took 9 episodes, but in the manga it was 9 chapters, which, okay, that's a bit odd. Yeah, I actually thought that was a little odd, though. They actually had the same amount for the chapters for the actual arc. Yep. And this overall was a really damn good season. And it's always great to see familiar faces when it comes to voice actors. Now, overall, as for series, I've seen where Filmation does the dub for these particular series. Uh huh. Yep. Not, I haven't seen that many of them. The only ones I can think of where Filmation's done the dub for is the 4 Dragon Ball series. I haven't watched Super yet for the dub. So roughly just Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Fairy Tail, One Piece. Hmm. Who else? I know there's others. Let's see if I can look them up here. So it's a lot I've seen for their dubs. And I know they became famous because of their dub for Dragon Ball. Yep. Let's see if I can find here. Hmm. I think they also did the dub for they did the dub for Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, and about half the series I actually did reviews for so far. They've actually done dub for. The only ones I can think of they never did dub for that I have done reviews for is Naruto, Bleach, Rashura Kenshin, Sailor Moon Crystal, and I think Akame got Kill. Yeah, roughly about a small handful of them, but roughly most of the series I have reviewed have either been dubs by either Filmation or Viz Media. Though in the case of my last one, when I was able to watch the entire thing dubbed, this one, this series, I won't be able to finish watching dub because here's kind of the thing. Season 3 has not been released yet. It's coming out in July, of all things. Yep. Now, part 2, I will discuss season 2 of the series. Part 3, I'll talk about the shorts that the series had, which is about half a dozen of them. For part 4, I'll talk about the 2 anime movies. And I'll give my thoughts on it. It's one of the most bizarre concepts I've seen for a series when it comes to anime movies. Now, the studio who actually made the series is not a series, it's not a studio I'm very well familiar with. It's made by Wit Studio. I mean, appearance-wise, it kind of looks like the same style that Madhouse is known for using. Yeah, it's it's a familiar style. I mean, looking at it, you can kind of mistake it for a Madhouse production, but this one's a little more lighter because Madhouse is known for being a little more darker with their animation style. But it is quite similar when it comes to their animation style. Okay, yeah. So, like I said, part 2 will be the season 2. Part 3 will be the OVAs, the shorts. Part 4 will be the OVAs. Part 5 will be the 2 anime movies because the third one's coming out this year. And the last part, as of right now, until season 3 starts up, I will talk about the live action movie. Yes, I will talk about the live action movie for Attack on Titan. I've heard it's not very good. I'm going to get my own opinion on when I get a chance to watch the film, probably sometime in the near future. Okay? So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for part 2, where I talk about season 2 of this particular series. It will be probably later on today. Depends how long it takes me to finish season 2. Season 2 is only just 12 episodes, so hopefully it won't take me too long. I'm hoping it doesn't. Okay? So until we see you in the next episode, bye.